We all have moments in life when we feel like the weight of the world is pressing down on us. Maybe you're in one of those moments right now, a time of pain, loss, or doubt that feels like it might never end. But I want to share something with you that I hope will reshape the way you see this season of struggle. Pain isn't the enemy. Pain is the birthplace of transformation. It's easy to see pain as something to avoid, something to numb or escape. But what if we reframed it? What if we saw pain not as the end, but as the beginning of something powerful? Think about it, muscles grow when they're stretched and torn, and so do we. When we lean into discomfort, we give ourselves permission to grow. Pain isn't just a test, it's a teacher. It shows us what matters, reveals the cracks in our armor, and invites us to be brave enough to heal. And healing doesn't mean returning to what was. Healing means growing into what could be. When we allow our pain to shape us rather than define us, it becomes our power. Let me share this vulnerability in those moments of pain isn't weakness, it's courage. When we share our struggles, we give others permission to do the same. We create connections that remind us we're not alone. Growth begins where comfort ends. It's a statement that's easy to say, but profoundly challenging to live by. Yet the truth is, discomfort is the birthplace of all transformation. When we lean into discomfort, we open the door to possibilities that can only be unlocked through facing our fears, uncertainties, and challenges head on. Discomfort often gets a bad reputation. Our natural instinct is to avoid it, to turn away when things get hard, and to stay in spaces where we feel safe and in control. But the problem with comfort is that it can also become a cage, a space where we stop growing, stop questioning, and stop evolving. Discomfort, on the other hand, is the fire that refines us. Think about the process of building muscle. When you lift weights, you're essentially breaking down muscle fibers, creating micro tears that the body repairs and strengthens over time. The discomfort you feel during that process is the signal that growth is happening. The same principle applies to our emotional, mental, and even spiritual growth. The challenges we face, whether they're difficult conversations, new responsibilities, or stepping into the unknown, are the weights we lift to build resilience and strength. Leaning into discomfort means we stop running from what scares us. It's about allowing ourselves to sit with the hard stuff, the pain, the uncertainty, the vulnerability, and to see it for what it truly is, an opportunity for growth. It means choosing courage over comfort, even when every fiber of our being is telling us to retreat. Here's the paradox: the more we avoid discomfort, the more it controls us. When we refuse to face challenges, they don't disappear. They fester, grow, and show up in other areas of our lives. But when we face them, when we step into the arena and say, I am willing to be uncomfortable, we take back our power. We learn that discomfort isn't something to fear, but something to embrace. It's important to remember that leaning into discomfort doesn't mean diving headfirst into every fear without preparation. It's about taking small, intentional steps that stretch us beyond our limits. And it's about showing up even when we're scared and choosing to grow anyway. It's about recognizing that the temporary pain of discomfort pales in comparison to the long-term fulfillment of becoming who we're meant to be. When you lean into discomfort, you build a muscle that makes future challenges less daunting. You develop a kind of emotional stamina, a confidence that says, I've been here before and I can handle this. Over time, discomfort becomes less of a barrier and more of a guide, pointing you toward the areas in your life that are ready for transformation. So the next time you're faced with discomfort, take a deep breath and lean in. Embrace it as a sign that you're on the edge of something great. Remember that every time you choose to face the hard things, you're choosing to grow, to evolve, and to become the strongest, most authentic version of yourself. Because on the other side of discomfort lies the life you've been waiting for. Struggles are an inevitable part of life, but the way we view them can make all the difference. Too often we see struggles as roadblocks, something to endure or overcome so we can get back to normal. But what if we shifted our perspective? What if instead of seeing struggles as setbacks, we saw them as setups for something greater? What if we reframed struggle not as a sign of weakness, but as an opportunity to uncover our strength? The truth is, struggle and strength are deeply interconnected. Just as a diamond is formed under pressure and muscles grow stronger through resistance, our character, resilience, and inner power are forged in the fires of adversity. When we face challenges, we are presented with an opportunity to grow in ways we might never have imagined. Reframing struggle as strength begins with recognizing its value. Struggle is not just a detour on the road to success, it is part of the journey itself. Each challenge we face holds lessons that shape who we are and who we can become. It forces us to confront our limitations, dig deep into our reserves of courage, and discover capacities within ourselves that we didn't know existed. Consider a time when you went through a tough period, a moment when everything felt heavy and you weren't sure how you'd make it through. Now think about who you became on the other side of that struggle. Maybe you became more patient, more empathetic, or more resourceful. Maybe you discovered strengths you didn't know you had or developed a deeper appreciation for the people and things that matter most. That growth, that transformation wouldn't have happened without the struggle. Struggles also have a way of shifting our priorities and deepening our purpose. They challenge us to reevaluate what truly matters and to let go of what doesn't. They remind us of our resilience, the ability to bend without breaking, to adapt in the face of difficulty, and to rise again after every fall. But reframing struggle as strength doesn't mean denying the pain or difficulty of the experience. It's okay to feel frustrated, sad, or overwhelmed during tough times. Acknowledging those emotions is part of the process. Strength doesn't come from pretending everything is fine. It comes from facing the truth, honoring your feelings, and choosing to keep moving forward anyway. It also helps to remember that struggle connects us to others. When we share our challenges and the lessons we've learned from them, we create a ripple effect. Our stories of overcoming hardship can inspire and empower others to face their own struggles with courage and determination. Reframing struggle as strength is not about glorifying hardship or seeking out difficulties for their own sake. It's about recognizing that when struggles come, and we have a choice. We can see them as insurmountable obstacles, or we can see them as opportunities to grow, to learn, and to become stronger. Every struggle you face today is preparing you for challenges you can't yet see. It's equipping you with the tools, the perspective, and the resilience you'll need to navigate the future. So when life feels heavy, remind yourself this is not the end of the story. This is the chapter where you discover just how strong you truly are. In the moments when you feel like giving up, remember that every ounce of effort you put into overcoming a challenge is building a foundation for future success. Your struggles are not your weaknesses, they are your training ground. They are the proof of your resilience, the markers of your courage, and the source of your greatest strength. Embrace your struggles, not as something to be ashamed of, but as badges of honor. They are a testament to your willingness to persevere, to grow, and to thrive despite the odds. In reframing your struggles as strength, you transform your challenges into stepping stones toward becoming the person you were always meant to be. Vulnerability is a word that often makes us uncomfortable. It brings to mind images of weakness, exposure, and uncertainty, things we're naturally wired to avoid. Yet vulnerability is one of the most powerful and transformative forces we can embrace. It's not a liability, it's a strength that unlocks deeper connections, personal growth, and an authentic way of living. To understand the power in vulnerability, we first need to redefine it. Vulnerability is not about oversharing or exposing every part of ourselves to the world. It's about being honest, real, and open, even when it feels risky. It's the courage to show up and be seen, knowing that there are no guarantees. Think about the moments in your life when you felt truly connected to someone. Chances are those moments didn't come from a place of perfection or invulnerability. They came from shared experiences of honesty and openness when you let your guard down and allowed someone to see you for who you really are. That's the power of vulnerability. It builds trust, fosters empathy, and strengthens relationships in ways that superficial interactions never could. Vulnerability is also a gateway to growth. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we step out of the armor we use to protect ourselves from judgment or rejection. That armor might keep us safe, but it also keeps us stuck. It prevents us from taking risks, trying new things, and living fully. Vulnerability, on the other hand, invites us to embrace uncertainty and to see challenges not as threats, but as opportunities. Consider how vulnerability plays a role in creativity. Every time an artist shares their work, a writer publishes their thoughts, or a leader presents a bold new idea, they're taking a risk. They're exposing themselves to potential criticism, rejection, or failure. But they're also opening the door to innovation, connection, and impact. Without vulnerability, there is no creativity, no progress, and no change. And yet, embracing vulnerability is not easy. It requires us to confront our fears, the fear of not being enough, of failing, or of being judged. But here's the truth: every time you choose to be vulnerable, you're choosing courage over fear. You're saying, this is who I am, and I am enough. That's a radical act of self-acceptance and self-love. It's important to remember that vulnerability doesn't mean being reckless or exposing yourself to harm. It means being thoughtful about when, where, and with whom you share your truth. It's about creating spaces where vulnerability is met with empathy and understanding, not judgment or dismissal. One of the most profound aspects of vulnerability is how it inspires others. In a world that often glorifies instant results, it can be difficult to appreciate the value of the process. We're conditioned to chase outcomes, to measure success by how quickly we can achieve our goals, and to compare our progress to others. But real growth, transformation, and fulfillment don't happen overnight. They emerge slowly through consistent effort, resilience, and patience. Embracing the process means shifting our focus from the destination to the journey itself. The process is where the magic happens. It's where we learn, adapt, and evolve. It's where the small, seemingly insignificant steps accumulate into something meaningful. When we fixate solely on the end goal, we often overlook the importance of the moments in between, the challenges that shape us, the lessons that strengthen us, and the milestones that remind us how far we've come. The process is not just a means to an end, it is the heart of the experience. Yet embracing the process can be uncomfortable. It requires us to let go of our need for control and certainty. It asks us to trust that even when progress feels slow or invisible, it's happening. It demands patience, especially in moments when it feels like we're moving backward or standing still. But it's in these moments of uncertainty and struggle that the most profound growth occurs. When you embrace the process, you also learn to appreciate the value of effort. Every action you take, no matter how small, contributes to your growth. It's easy to underestimate the power of daily habits or incremental changes, but these are the building blocks of transformation. The process teaches us that success is not about grand gestures, but about showing up consistently, even when it's hard. The process also reveals the importance of failure. Setbacks and mistakes are not signs that we're off track, they're essential parts of the journey. They teach us resilience, humility, and creativity. Each failure is an opportunity to learn and adjust, to refine our approach, and to strengthen our resolve. Embracing the process means welcoming failure as a teacher rather than fearing it as an enemy. And one of the most challenging aspects of the process is learning to stay present. It's tempting to live in the future, imagining how things will be once we reach our goal. But the process asks us to be here now, to find joy and meaning in the present moment. It's in the here and now that we experience life fully, that we cultivate gratitude for what is, and that we build the foundation for what's to come. Embracing the process also helps us cultivate self-compassion. Growth is not linear, and there will be times when we stumble or fall short. The process reminds us to be gentle with ourselves, to celebrate progress rather than perfection, and to acknowledge the effort we've put in. It teaches us that it's okay to rest, to ask for help, and to move at our own pace. Through the process, we learn to let go of comparison. Everyone's journey is unique, and measuring ourselves against others only distracts us from our own progress. Embracing the process means honoring our path, trusting our timing, and focusing on our growth rather than someone else's achievements. The process also deepens our connection to purpose. When we embrace it, we move beyond surface-level goals and tap into the why behind what we're doing. This sense of purpose sustains us through the challenges and reminds us that the effort is worthwhile. It transforms the process from a task to be endured into an experience to be cherished. Pain is one of the most universal human experiences, yet it's often seen as something to avoid, suppress, or escape. But pain, as difficult as it can be, is also one of the most profound catalysts for change and growth. It has a way of stripping away the unnecessary, forcing us to confront what truly matters, and revealing strengths and possibilities we didn't know we had. When we view pain as a catalyst, we shift from seeing it as an obstacle to recognizing its transformative potential. Pain has a unique ability to disrupt our routines and push us out of our comfort zones. It shakes up the status quo, whether in our personal lives, relationships, or careers. While this disruption can feel overwhelming, it often creates the conditions necessary for growth. Pain forces us to pause, reflect, and reassess our priorities. It can uncover truths we may have ignored and reveal areas in our lives that need attention or change. Pain also drives innovation and creativity. Throughout history, some of the most significant advancements and works of art have emerged from moments of deep struggle. Pain challenges us to think differently, to seek solutions we might not have considered otherwise, and to channel our emotions into something constructive. It sparks a level of ingenuity and resourcefulness that often lies dormant in times of ease. In the face of pain, resilience is born. Pain has a way of testing our limits, but it also expands them. It teaches us to endure, adapt, and persevere. Each time we confront pain and choose to keep moving forward, we build a reservoir of inner strength that serves us in future challenges. Resilience is not just the ability to bounce back, but the capacity to grow through adversity, and pain is often the catalyst for developing that capacity. Pain also deepens our empathy and compassion. When we experience hardship, we gain a deeper understanding of the struggles others face. This shared understanding fosters connection and reminds us of our shared humanity. Pain has a way of breaking down walls and opening our hearts, allowing us to connect with others in a more meaningful way. It reminds us that we are not alone and that our stories of struggle can inspire and uplift those around us. When pain enters our lives, it often brings with it a sense of clarity. It strips away distractions and forces us to focus on what is essential. Whether it's the loss of a loved one, the end of a relationship, or a personal setback, pain has a way of shining a light on our values, our purpose, and our deepest desires. It encourages us to let go of what no longer serves us and to pursue what truly matters. Pain also calls us to action. It has a way of stirring something deep within us, a drive to make a change, to seek healing, or to create something new. Pain can ignite a sense of purpose, pushing us to advocate for ourselves or others, to challenge injustices, or to build something meaningful out of our experiences. It transforms passive endurance into active engagement, turning suffering into a source of motivation and impact. Pain has a transformative power that extends beyond the individual. It can ripple outward, inspiring change in communities, systems, and even the world. Many movements for social justice, innovation, and progress have been fueled by collective pain. Shared adversity unites people, galvanizing them to work towards solutions and to create a better future. In this way, pain becomes not just a personal catalyst, but a force for collective growth and transformation. Pain also teaches us about vulnerability and authenticity. It strips away pretense and reveals our raw, unfiltered selves. In these moments of openness, we often discover a deeper connection to ourselves and to others. Pain allows us to break free from the masks we wear and to embrace our humanity and all its complexity. It teaches us that strength is not about avoiding pain, but about facing it with courage and honesty. Through pain, we also learn to value healing and growth as a process. It reminds us that transformation is not instantaneous, but requires time, effort, and patience. And pain challenges us to stay present, to trust the journey, and to believe in our capacity to emerge stronger and wiser on the other side. Brokenness is often seen as something to hide, a flaw to be fixed, or a chapter to forget. Yet within brokenness lies an undeniable beauty, a quiet strength that reminds us of our resilience, growth, and humanity. Just as the cracks in a piece of pottery tell a story of its history, our brokenness tells a story of survival, transformation, and the deeper meaning that comes from enduring life's challenges. There's a profound truth in the idea that broken things can still be whole. In Japanese culture, the art of kintsugi, repairing cracked pottery with gold, celebrates imperfections rather than hiding them. So the cracks, highlighted in shimmering gold, become a testament to the object's history and beauty. In much the same way, our scars, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, are not marks of failure, but evidence of our ability to heal and move forward. Brokenness can reveal parts of ourselves we might not otherwise have discovered. It strips away the superficial, leaving us face to face with our raw, authentic selves. In these vulnerable moments, we often uncover strengths we didn't know we had, resilience we didn't know existed, and a deeper understanding of who we truly are. It's in the breaking that we discover what we're made of. There is also a quiet humility that comes from brokenness. It softens us, making us more empathetic and compassionate toward others. When we acknowledge our own cracks and imperfections, we are less likely to judge those in others. Brokenness connects us to the shared human experience. It reminds us that everyone has struggles, everyone has scars, and everyone has a story. It's this connection that builds bridges of understanding and fosters authentic relationships. The beauty of brokenness lies in its ability to transform us. Just as a seed must break open for a plant to grow, our moments of brokenness often precede moments of profound growth. The pain we experience cracks open the shell of who we were, allowing us to step into who we are becoming. Brokenness doesn't diminish us, it expands us. It deepens our capacity for love, gratitude, and meaning. Brokenness also teaches us to value impermanence. Life is full of cycles, creation, destruction, and rebirth. To be human is to exist in a state of constant change, and brokenness is a natural part of that process. When we embrace this truth, we begin to see beauty not just in the unbroken, but in the broken, the mended, and the evolving. Our brokenness can become a source of light for others. When we share our stories of struggle and healing, we remind others that they are not alone. We offer hope that brokenness is not the end, but a chapter in a much larger narrative. Through our vulnerability, we inspire others to embrace their own imperfections and to find strength in their own scars. The beauty of brokenness lies in its paradox. It feels like a moment of falling apart, yet it has the power to bring us closer to wholeness. Brokenness teaches us to let go of perfection, to embrace the messy, and to find meaning in the process of being put back together. It reminds us that we are not defined by our cracks, but by the way we choose to fill them. It is through brokenness that we learn to see ourselves and others with greater compassion, to celebrate the beauty of imperfection, and to honor the stories that make us who we are. Broken but beautiful strength and scars, imperfection is beauty. Life is a journey filled with challenges, growth, and transformation. Every struggle, every moment of discomfort, every instance of brokenness carries with it an invitation to lean in, to rise, and to discover the strength within ourselves. Today's pain is not the end of the story, it is the foundation upon which tomorrow's power is built. When we reframe our struggles as opportunities, embrace vulnerability as strength, and honor the beauty in our imperfections, we open ourselves to profound growth. The process of transformation is rarely easy, but it is always worth it. Each step we take, each moment we endure, is shaping us into a stronger, more authentic version of ourselves. Remember, pain is not something to fear or avoid, it is a catalyst for change. Brokenness is not a mark of failure, but a testament to resilience, and the process, no matter how challenging, is the path to becoming who we were always meant to be. Let us lean into discomfort, honor our scars, and trust that the journey holds the power to transform pain into strength, brokenness into beauty, and today's struggles into tomorrow's triumphs.